Hello and good evening, everybody. Another edition of Women Football Today's the Women's Super League Review Show, and a fantastic weekend of football. We've seen 23 goals in 6 Women's Super League games over the weekend. Some fascinating, surprising results as well. I'm going to start the show by congratulating Leicester City. Leicester City have just won promotion to the Women's Super League from the FA Championship. An exclusive, I think. We've got Jonathan Morgan, the Leicester City manager. He will be on our Talkback show, which is at 5 p.m. tonight. So he's our special guest on our Talkback show at 5 p.m. tonight. If you want to get involved in that show, please follow us on Twitter, send us a direct message, and we'll try and get you on the show tonight. So yeah, it's a fantastic show we got for you straight away. I've got to tell you, I'm really excited because that game, Leicester City game, they scored 2 goals late on, was following that. I've been following all the games today, as well as the game yesterday, and I'm a bit short of breath, a bit excited, but we'll try and calm down and get through the Women's Super League games. That's what we're here for right now. I'm going to start off by giving you the results of the 6 games that have been played over the weekend. We had the game yesterday, Reading 0, West Ham 5, Chelsea 6, Birmingham City 0, Everton 3, Aston Villa 1, Tottenham 0, Manchester City 3, Bristol City 0, Arsenal 4, and Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Manchester United 0. Apologies, we don't have any graphics up yet because the game's finished. I think the last game finished about 2 or 3 minutes ago. So we've got to wait till the end of the game to see if there's been another goal and to update the table. So I will pick the table up later on from the FA website. So got to start off with that game yesterday, West Ham game. We're going to bring in Michelle in a second. West Ham rooted to the foot of the table. Looked like they might be dropping out of the league, but they come back and win 5-0. 5 goals in the first half against Reading. I'm going to bring Michelle in. Yesterday, Michelle really was speechless. Bring you in, Michelle. Yeah, come on. Have you managed, first of all, to calm down a little bit from yesterday? You were really excited. And have you found your voice again?
Yeah. Oh, you're right. I was absolutely speechless. I just did not know what to say. It was like a rocket. It just hit me right between the eyes, and I did not expect that. I expected a good game. I expected a good game because West Ham and Reading games are always good.
Yeah.
We've had some, unusual results with them, but I just did not expect that. And as I said in my review, I had it all planned. I knew what I was going to say. I had to scrap it, start again.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what to say. But a great result. Great 3 points.
Can you remind everybody who scored your goals, please?
So it was like a cross type shot from Kendra Darley. Yeah. And then it was Svitkova with a header, and that was about 8 minutes. And then Martha Thomas had a bit of an untidy goal, and that was 3-0 up in 11 minutes. And then she had a good tap in, but good intercepting work for 4-0. Yeah. Same Martha Thomas for the second goal. And then the 5th goal was a lovely dink assist from Kendra Darley straight into her path. She ran onto it. Brilliant. Fantastic looping shot over Grace Maloney. And that was 37 minutes. It was 5-0 up in 37 minutes. And it just blew me away. It was crazy. Absolute bonkers.
And I was on social media yesterday trying to update things. So I managed to keep abreast of the first half. I was just glad you didn't score any more goals in the second half because I couldn't keep pace. I couldn't read. It was just goal after goal. You do some typing and you score another goal. So you just put out the score and then bang another goal. You put out some video and bang another goal.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything like that before?
No, I mean I've seen. We played Crystal Palace last season before the COVID pandemic, and we done them 8-0. And that was a live game. I actually went to that at Rush Green, and I didn't know what the score was because I just couldn't keep up because all these goals were just going in. And for a time, I thought it was 6-0, but it was actually 8. So it finished 8-0. So that was a good game. But in terms of such a quick, rapid attacking start like that from West Ham. No. But as I said, I knew the game between us and Reading was going to be good. I didn't know it was going to be that good, but yeah, a very good performance.
Very pleased, obviously, about the performance.
Yeah, super pleased.
Shall we bring in our special guest? Here we go. We got Gilly Flatty.
Oh, hey!
Flatty. I can say I'm still talking about that, thinking about that Leicester game. Wow. I knew you were speechless yesterday, Michelle, but I thought we'd surprise you by bringing on the West Ham captain, Gilly. How are you doing?
Brilliant.
Hello, I'm good, thank you.
So happy.
Just get Gillian.
Well done,
Hey,
Gilly.
Thank you so much for joining us
well
today.
Done.
I'll let you guys have a chat. I mean, I'll just nip out, let you guys.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, I was so happy because I had the weekend off work for once in my life. And I thought, I'm going to give it up. You know, I'll stick by. I'm stick with you guys. Keep fighting. Magic, absolute magic. Well done to all of you. I was so pleased for you guys. You could tell that you were so together. Your communication, particularly, you were shouting, you were giving them instructions. Brilliant, absolutely outstanding.
Yeah,
really
I think like yesterday, like we'd said it that like teams in our league had caused an upset previously. You're looking at obviously looking at Brighton beating Chelsea, you know, and
yeah,
it was Bristol beating Reading. And I spoke to the girls before the game, and I just said, listen, like we've got to be on our front foot. We've got to win
That's
our first and second balls. We've got to get in their faces, and it was an incredible first half. I don't think I've experienced a first half like that in the whole of my career. But we was just so it was a huge relief getting the three, not only the 3 points, the 5 goals, but also the clean sheet too. It was a massive day for us yesterday as a club.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, brilliant. I mean, the whole game, it was just a perfect game. Perfect game. There was no mistakes. We should have had 6, really. Really.
We could have had more.
Yeah, but it was a perfect game. I mean, as I said, like no mistakes. Everyone was doing their job properly. You're all together. You celebrate together because the manager giving you instructions. Just a perfect game. Absolutely perfect game.
I think it's been frustrating the past few weeks because we've been playing well. We've been trying really hard, and we've just had no luck. And I think Kenza's goal that give us that little bit of luck that we just haven't had this year. You know, we've probably had the most unluckiest season going. So I think for us we've been biding our time the past few weeks. We haven't been playing bad at all.
No, that's it.
It's just now we took our chances yesterday. That was the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken to lots of other season ticket holders, and we've all agreed on one thing, and that's you guys are not playing like, you know, you're bottom of the team, bottom of the league. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not playing like you've given up. You're playing really, really well. You're organised and you're playing like a proper team, and lots of people are so behind you. And you know, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. We just need that little bit of luck. And yesterday, I think, was a turning point. And yeah, I enjoyed it so much. I was buzzing.
It's been good today because all the results as well have gone in our favour too.
Yeah, I've just seen the Brighton result. They've done brilliantly.
Yeah, that's a massive win for them. It's been a good week. It's been a good weekend all round, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm really pleased for everyone in the team. It was a great performance. It was really good. Yeah, no, you guys deserved the 3 points, 100%.
Yeah, so we just got to take it now. Going forward, we have to take it into the other games. You know, it's no point beating Reading, and then obviously we've got two huge games against Villa. Got a game against Everton, you know, and obviously then you got Man City, you got Arsenal too. But we know we need a few more points on the ball to stay safe. So yeah, it's exciting. It's international break obviously now, and then obviously after that we've got FA Cup, and then we got Villa. Yeah.
Best of luck.
Yeah, I'm just going to ask you, Gilly. I mean, obviously, does that result yesterday sets you up for the rest of the season, for the FA Cup, for the other games? It's going to give you bags of confidence to show that you can actually, you know, you put on such a display that if people haven't been watching your games recently, they won't have noticed. You know, if you see the highlights and you've lost 1-0 or something, you might not notice how good you've been playing, but you've been playing really well.
Yeah, and I think as well with the FA player and their highlight show, I don't think they give us the full credit either. I think some games you watch back and they don't even show majority of our chances that we create. And I do think as well, maybe Reading underestimated us a little bit yesterday. Probably thought, bottom of the table. But the players that we've got and the way we've been playing, we don't deserve to be bottom of the table. And I think yesterday was a bit of our way of telling people to shut up a little bit, and sort of saying, listen, we're not done. Do you know what I mean? We're the team that we've got winners, and especially I'm talking for myself, but for everyone else, like, we ain't signed for West Ham to be in a relegation battle. Do you know what I mean? And we just had a really unlucky year this year. We still got 4 or 5 cup finals left. Do you know what I mean? And yesterday, yes, was a bonus for us getting the win, getting 5 goals, getting the clean sheet. But we've got massive games coming up that we have to make sure we're ready for. And the job's not done. We're still a long way off of securing safety in the league, and that's the main thing for us as a club, is keeping this club in this league.
I think you can do it. I think you can.
Yeah, I think one of the big things is now it's entirely in your hands. If you get enough points, you're safe. It's entirely in your hands. You got that massive game against Villa, who I think they're propping up the table right now. And I'm sure you can't say this, but the feeling is if you beat Villa, that probably will secure your safety. But it's in your own hands, and I think that's the most important thing for you now.
Yeah, massively. And I think it's been hard, like, the last few weeks, especially looking at the league table, and people say don't look at it, but it's just natural to look at it. And especially for me, like, never experiencing this in my career, like, I've never felt these feelings that I've been feeling, like the stress, the anxiety. Do you know what I mean? The last few weeks has been awful. But yeah, it's focusing on us and making sure that we do what we need to do, and we concentrate on us, and hopefully results do go our way in other aspects like it did today. But as long as we get the job done and we focus on ourselves, then fingers crossed we'll be safe come the end of the season.
Yeah. Can I just ask about your players this season? Who do you think has maybe gone under the radar? Who's really made that step up for you this season?
Do you know what? I think it's been such a collective team effort. Like, we've had obviously Mackenzie Arnold out injured for a good few weeks now. Courtney had minimal game time before that, and coming has been absolutely superb for us. Like yesterday, she done a huge save, but she tipped it over the bar. And she's been brilliant for us since she's come in. You're looking at, for example, Laura Vetlin was suspended yesterday, and Howard Sissoko come in, who hasn't played a lot of minutes. And do you know what? She done really well because she just kept it so simple. She's just done her job. She got tight 1v1. She won her headers, she won her tackles, and it was fantastic for her, like, to see her come in as well. But I think we're not denying that our squad is very small and it's very thin. But every single senior player, especially, has stepped up and took on that responsibility and that leadership role to go, like, listen, we know we're thin, but we have to do what we possibly can do and make sure that we do everything we can control. Do you know what I mean? And that's us. That's us as players, making sure that we get ourselves in order and we're taking responsibility for our own performances. But I think everybody's been brilliant. I'm so pleased for Martha yesterday getting a hat-trick, because I know she's been frustrated recently, and she's had the chances, looking at because she had a couple against Birmingham that didn't go her way. And everyone's been struggling with where we've been, but everybody now is pulled together and they're sticking together. So I think everybody's been fantastic this year for us.
Fantastic. Gilly, thanks so much for coming on and kicking off our show tonight. I know both of you are absolutely chuffed at the result yesterday, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant, Gilly. Well done,
Michelle. Bye.
See you, mate. Cheers.
What a start. Michelle, that was a surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's fantastic. She's great. She is. She's a great captain. That's really good.
I've got to say, I didn't tell. I got to tell everybody, the viewers, I didn't tell Michelle that Gilly would be on. That was a surprise for her. So I'm glad it was a good. I'm glad it was a good surprise.
Yeah, brilliant. No, it's really good. Well done, Ray. She's a great captain. She is. She leads by example. And as I said to her, I don't know if you were listening, but her communication yesterday on the pitch, she was leading. And it's just simple things like that. You could really hear it. And I suppose, with the stadiums being empty like that, you can really hear it. And I could hear the gaffer as well. But she really took charge yesterday. It was a great game. It was really good.
Fantastic. Well, good luck for the rest of the season, Michelle, and we'll catch up with you another time. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. Great to see you. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. See you later.
Thanks, Michelle. Bye-bye. We're going to bring on the machine, the team that's playing in cheat mode right now. We're going to bring on Rob Pratley, Chelsea fan. Rob, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Ryan. Yourself?
I'm not as good as you because you won 6-0.
Yeah, this football thing's pretty easy, isn't it? When,
as I said at the start, you're in cheat mode. You're beating teams in the Champions League. You're looking really good, solid defensively. You're scoring goals for fun. I mean, how do you describe it? I mean, it's 6-0. Let's talk us through a little bit of the game.
Just before that, I want to say how great it was to see former Blue Gilly Flatty on here. Really underrated player when she was at Chelsea and a big part of recent success. So great to see her sort of doing well and a great win yesterday for the Irons. In terms of for a Chelsea perspective, it was a sort of a bit of a weird one, actually, because we didn't start very quickly and so we got used to starting quickly. But once the first one went in, which was just a terrific bit of instinct from Sam Kerr, I think we actually dropped for about 20 minutes. And there was a spell when really, Birmingham were on top and looked like equalising. But top teams, take the one chance when they get them. A ball down the left cuff, but whipping it in. Harder's header, really unlucky to come off the crossbar. Comes back, there's Sam Kerr, gobbles it up for the second. Minutes later, she has a hat-trick. And then the second half, just played some brilliant football, turned it on. Goal for Kirby from a brilliant passing move. Goal for Brighton from a brilliant passing move. And then a late solo goal from Kirby. Missed a hatful of other chances. Was able to rotate the side sort of completely. Yeah, just, sensational performance, especially considering it was after a very tough midweek European game.
Absolutely. I mean, right now, you got two of the flyers in the Women's Super League. I think people notice them because they're scoring tons of goals. You're getting a lot of assists. Sam Kerr, Frank Kirby. I mean, I've talked to you a few times about how good they are, but tell everybody, how good are these two players right now?
I mean, at the moment, I think it's fair to say that one of them will win the WSL Player of the Year, and that, realistically, it should be one of those two players. Personally, my vote would go to Kirby just because she's getting the goals and the assists, and like her all-round play is taking her up to a level where realistically she's in a conversation for the Ballon d'Or this season. As for Sam Kerr, you're now seeing exactly why Chelsea was sort of signing this feared striker last January. I think it took her a little while to adapt, but now she's really got into the team. And also I think with Pernilla Harder as well as another player to push them both, has just pushed them on to even greater heights. And it's just, an absolute embarrassment of riches to be able to sort of work with.
It's a star-studded team you've got right now, our squad. Last question, Rob. I mean, I'm sure I asked you this last week, and I want a one-word answer. Champions League, are you going to win it?
Possibly. I'm more confident. I'm a lot more confident now after the way we beat Wolfsburg midweek, because that was a seriously impressive performance against a good outfit. And I've seen Wolfsburg today beat Bayern in a cup game and beat them by exploiting the wings, which is an area Chelsea are very, very good in. So it'll be another tough, 180 minutes, but I'm confident that, we should be getting to the final at least, and then in the final anything can happen.
Okay, this is a one-word answer. WS title, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Rob. I'm sure we'll be seeing you again soon. Thanks for joining us today.
Yes, thank you, Rob.
There we go. And Chelsea march on at the top of the table. We're going to bring in a few people to talk about the Spurs versus Manchester City game. I'll start with a Man City fan. I'll start with Jenny. So we'll bring Jenny in. Jenny, how you doing?
Hi, Ray.
You all right?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. John, I mean, you watched the game today. City won by 3-0. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the game, please?
Yeah, there was a bit of confusion at the start of the game because Greenwood was listed as starting, and then it was actually Mannion. So it was nice to see Aoife get on from the start. It was mainly City possession, really, all through the game. Janine scored after 5 minutes after an assist from Chloe Kelly, who's on fire again. And then Janine scored another after 37 minutes to make it 2-0 after a one-on-one with the keeper. So at half-time, it was 2-0. City had been on top for most of the first half with the possession. Then it was 3-0 from Caroline Weir, just on the hour. Couple of subs were made. White went off and Lavelle came on. Mewis came off and Laura Coombs came on, and City just held on, really. They could have scored a lot more goals today, a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, did Spurs show anything? I mean, I watched that game as much as I could. There's so many games going on today. I've got square eyes. But I mean, Spurs, especially in that first half, they were pretty resolute, defended quite well.
Yeah, they were using the high press quite well in the first half, which was keeping City at bay. I mean, we scored that first goal, which came from a corner after somebody had a shot and hit the post. I can't remember now who it was. And then they kicked it out for the corner. But every player on the pitch today had a part to play in that game. I thought Esme was brilliant today.
Infer as well came on. She's been injured for a long time.
Yeah, Aoife played really well. I mean, we know what she's capable of. We just got to get her back to where she was before her injury. But every player on the pitch played well today. It's hard to pick a player of the match. I don't envy Dave picking that one.
I asked you the same question finally as I asked Rob. WSL title, yes or no?
Yes.
Fantastic. I knew you'd say that. I knew you're always very, very positive. Jenny, thanks so much for coming on tonight. See you later.
See ya.
Right, let's get a view of the match from a Spurs point of view. So we're going to bring in Rob. Let's get Rob on. Let's get Rob to turn his. You need to turn your mic on, Rob. Let's get that. Let's turn his mic. Here we go. Rob, how you doing?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Not too bad. You lost at home to Man City 3-0. I mean, some would say you'd expect to lose at home, but irrespective of the scoreline, how do you think the game went from a Spurs point of view?
I've got to say, as you said, our expectations when we were sort of pre-match chats and what have you was somewhat low, if you know what I mean. Yeah. We were hoping that we weren't going to get embarrassed and that we try and make much more of a game of it than we have done in the past. So particularly when we're playing against the teams that are at the top of the table, they're really difficult matches for us. So I thought really sloppy start, poor defending for the corner for the first goal, and then as our Man City friend was saying there, high press, and we got caught on that high press for the second goal. But then second half, I felt we played better in the second half than we did in the first. I thought we competed better in midfield. We started to create a few chances. We always knew it was going to be tiring because we weren't going to be getting much of the ball. Possession stats were pretty low. I think we're on 37% possession. We're never going to be creating too much with that sort of possession stats, unfortunately. But yeah, created a few chances, made plenty of substitutions to be able to keep that going, and I think we actually battled better and I thought a much better second half performance from us.
Yeah, I mean, Spurs right now are, should we say, lower mid-table or mid-table. What do you think you need to do to take a step forward next season? I'm not going to ask you to challenge for the title, but at least a step forward.
No, I think our biggest problem this season has been scoring goals. It's pretty straightforward. Our top goal scorer has only got 2 people on 2 goals.
Yeah.
So, when you've only got that sort and everyone else is singles, when you've got people like that, we're not creating enough chances and not putting the ball in the back of the net enough times. We seem to need to work on our possession, and we seem to give the ball away far too easily in the last third. And it is that final third that I think seems to be our biggest problem. And when we're playing against teams that we should be much more competitive against, our last few games we've played Bristol, got a draw there where I felt, that's a game that we should be winning. We've had a difficult run in. We've had Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Man United all in the last 6 games of the season. So it was always going to be a tough run in. And if we didn't get our points in early, it was always going to be could have been quite squeaky bum time towards the end. I think we've got a cup game still to come, and then our little run in So yeah, I think next season goal scorer has got to be our biggest addition, really. Someone we can actually feed into that's going to be able to pop the ball in the back of the net more often than we're doing at the minute.
I agree. I mean, you played 19 games, I think, 16 league goals. It's just not good enough. You're not going to, make those strides forward unless you get somebody. Do you think that the new TV deal money is going to help in that regard to help you buy somebody? It's a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
It's the amount of money that other teams in other leagues don't get. Do you think you could, pinch somebody of a high quality player from the league?
Yeah, I think it's something that I must admit I'm not fully abreast of the numbers and stuff. But if there is an opportunity with money coming in from the TV deal to be able to do that, maybe bring someone out of the Championship that's got a high scoring record that we can bring in. We're not going to attract the top players, certainly from the goal scoring point of view. So maybe someone that's either young or experienced in the Championship that we can bring through could be quite good. But yeah, that's definitely going to be our biggest thing, is just to bring in someone that's going to be a bit more challenging and putting the ball in the back of the net a bit more often for us.
Fantastic, Rob. Thanks so much for coming on and joining us so soon after the game's finished. And hopefully we will have you on in the next few weeks as well.
No worries, Ray. Take care, my friend.
Thank you. Take care. And another Man City fan, we've got Eloise coming in. How are you doing, Eloise?
I am good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, very good. Obviously, Manchester City won, so I've said it before, we're both Manchester City fans, so we're both quite happy about that. How did you see that game going? And do you know who scored the first goal?
Now, see, I thought it was Georgia Stanway, I saw on Twitter, but I mean, it was a bit of a messy one. I don't think, the trouble is with FA player, because they don't give you replays, it's actually very difficult to tell some of the stuff that happens. But I'm not sure. I saw on Twitter that it was Georgia Stanway, but I might be wrong. I don't know.
I think officially went down as an own goal. There were some people saying it was direct from Chloe Kelly. Some people said it was the ponytail of Janine Becky. Whatever it was, it went in. It was an early goal for City, and then they just capitalised on a positive start.
Yeah, I thought it was a good, clean game today. Got the job done. The lineup was a bit, obviously, we've got a lot of issues with injuries at the moment, which seems to be a bit of a concern. Obviously, Alex Greenwood got injured during the warm-up. And I think, to be honest, that would be my biggest concern going forward, is the fact that we seem to have a lot of our big players not playing at the moment. And when we're looking at trying to get the title, I'm wondering whether that might be a bit of an issue. Because if you look at Chelsea, they played Wahoo Birmingham today, and they had Harder, Kirby all still playing despite the intense fixture list the last few weeks. So that is my concern, is that we can't keep our players going for long enough. Yeah,
I think right now Demi Stokes is out injured. Steph Horton is out injured. We lost Alex Greenwood in the warm-up, and Lucy Bronze. So that's basically your back line are out injured.
Yeah.
So obviously it's going to make it tough. I'll ask you the same question I've asked others. Do you think City or Chelsea, which of those two will win the WSL this season? I mean, it looks like it's going to go down to one game.
Yeah. No, I don't think we'll have an issue with any of the other games. Obviously, we've got, I think it's Birmingham and West Ham to play other than Chelsea. I think it will come down to the last game. I think it will depend. I think it will very much be what happens on the day, who comes out on the day and brings it, who wants it the most. And I don't doubt that we do. I'm just hoping we can get our players back in peak form in time for that. But I reckon it will be quite a battle. But I'll say City.
Well, it's going to be very interesting to see when that game is played, because as soon as Chelsea qualified for the next round of the Champions League, the fixtures for them are at a weekend, so on the 24th or 25th that weekend, and the 25th was the date for the Manchester City versus Chelsea game. So that's going to have to be rearranged. It's possible, the way the FA do things, that they might stick that game on midweek at 2:00, which would be crazy, but we've seen some crazy decisions on fixtures. So, but I just hope they don't do that, and they put it on. That's the biggest game possibly of the season. It could be winner takes all in that game, and I hope it's on a good time.
Yeah,
and hopefully
end.
Sorry?
Maybe they'll leave it to the end, to the last week.
Possibly, but then obviously it's getting closer and closer to the summer. So, but we'll see, and hopefully you'll be reporting on that for us as well. Thanks so much for coming on tonight, Eloise.
That's okay. Thank you for having me. Thank
Cheers. Let's see now. We're moving on to Josh. Josh is going to talk about the Bristol City Arsenal game. Get you in, Josh. Josh, it looked like a very comfortable 4-0 win for Arsenal today.
Yeah, it was, and it could have been more. It was the Sophie Bagley show. I thought she was absolutely outstanding in the Bristol City goal. But today, yeah, Arsenal were on it. They wanted it from the very, very start, and it helped the early goal. I thought if Arsenal got an early goal today, that could have happened, the 4-0, but it was crucial sort of get that early goal. Bristol City are a well set up side, and they're a frustrating team to go and break down. But Arsenal were very, very good today. You know, obviously Viviana Miedema scores 2, Danielle Van de Donk and Beth Mead, and yeah, it was a really controlled performance from Arsenal from the start to the finish today. Could have been more, but like the goalkeeper was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, massive win for Arsenal, and that's what they need to keep doing between now and the end of the season for that final Champions League place.
Absolutely, and I think the table now is very positive for Arsenal. You've got a game in hand over Manchester United, and you're 11 on points. Your goal difference is crazily better. You're plus 25 better off than Manchester United, and in all honesty, you're looking at 4 games to go, 3 wins, and you're in third. I mean, how big is that for Arsenal to finish third?
Yeah, it's huge. The Champions League is massive. That would be a successful season, obviously, to get in the Champions League. Of course, man. We talk about Arsenal. We talk about going on to win the league. It's obviously not going to happen this year. But they need Champions League. The Champions League is crucial for Arsenal, and it's crucial for a club like Arsenal to get in the Champions League. So, yeah, today is massive to get into. Obviously, they're in third as we speak now, on goal difference, and with that game in hand against West Ham. But the job's not done. There's games to go, and that they have to see them out, but in a professional manner. But I'm certainly confident as we speak that I think Arsenal will get the job done.
Do you see any banana skins? Because you got that game against West Ham. West Ham won against Reading away from home 5-0. You've got the game against Brighton, and Brighton have had a fantastic run. I think have they won 5 out of 6 games, something like that in the league. You've got to play Everton away from home, and that's not going to be easy. And then you're facing the current bottom side, Aston Villa, on the last day of the season. Do you see any potential slip-ups there?
I mean, I always have this attitude of sort of a one game at a time, but Everton are a good side, and it's going to be a tough game against them, especially away from home. Obviously, there's no fans there really to sort of, but it's still a hard game. I mean, they're a good side. Like you say, Brighton have taken points of Chelsea this season. They've taken points of Man City this season, and now Manchester United. So yeah, it's a tough game. But I'm a bit more confident in terms of it's at Meadow Park. So yeah, look, the 2 games there. Brighton. Every game is a difficult game. Don't get me wrong, but Brighton and Everton will be tough games. But I'm certainly more confident now that we'll get the job done. But the banana skin game, that we need to get we need to get through them. But the banana skin game would be Everton. But if we play to our maximum and to our potential, then I think we should get the 3 points there.
Well, it's in your hands. 3 wins out of the last 4 games, and you'll get Champions League football. So, it looks destiny's in your own hands. So that's obviously a positive. Yeah,
absolutely. And it's like you say, it's up to us now to get the job done, and to get it done in a professional manner. But yeah, it's in our own hands, and we have to win the games of football, and hopefully we can get there. But today is certainly a big step towards that final goal of getting into the Champions League.
Fantastic, Josh. Have a very, very good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight.
And you. Thank you very much, Ray. See you later.
And finally, the other team that we haven't talked about, and we've just been talking about them briefly, we've not looked at the review, is the game between Brighton and Man United. We're going to bring in John. John, you've got to be a bit disappointed, obviously, losing to Brighton. Do you want to give us your review of the game, please?
Yeah, how you doing, mate? You okay?
Very good, thanks.
Good. Yeah, really disappointing. It was. We was nowhere near. We didn't deserve to win it. We eventually had quite a bit of possession in the second half, but the damage was pretty much done. We just didn't create any chances. We didn't have any width. You look at our bench and we had no game changers. You had hardly anyone to bring on when we needed to score a goal. LJ went off in the first half. We brought Lucy Stan on. No one was really playing in a position that they're used to up front, in the sense of you had Jess, LJ up front, but they're like in different positions. We've been having Tierney on the right hand side, but this time she's playing the centre, and just everything. We just had no flow whatsoever. We had no rhythm, and we didn't deserve to win the game. And I was quite open about that at half time and to a few of my friends. And it's just very disappointing that the season's finished out like this, because there's no way that come January we should have been in this position. And look, we took 5 points off the top three, which is good. I would have took that at the start of the season, but it's the losses against Reading and the losses against Brighton there that have let Arsenal in, and there's no way back from here now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at the start of the season, if someone had told you you'll be where you are now in the league, sat fourth, 3 points off third, you're still challenging. It might be difficult, but still challenging for a Champions League spot. Would you have been satisfied with that at the start of the season if we'd offered you that?
So at the start of the season, and I've been very vocal about this all the way through the season, when fellow fans were saying it's a failure to finish outside of the Champions League, I was saying it's not necessarily a failure, it's a disappointment. I think it's a failure in the sense of come January we were top. However, the season's over, more than just half a season. It's over a full amount of games, and you have to think to yourself, well, yeah, going into the season, we was like 12, 13 points off last season, whereas now it looks like we might be 3 points off. So it is an improvement on last season, but you can't help but be disappointed that it was in our hands for such a long time. And it just shows that we just need a few extra players there now just to step in when the big name players are out. Is
it just new players, or do you think there's some an issue with mentality? Because look, you were top for quite a long while, and nobody would have expected this drop off from you. I mean, Arsenal looked well out of the Champions League positions, and suddenly you've lost a couple of games, and then they've beaten you as well. So that's 3 defeats. And it's all turned around, and it never looked likely.
Yeah, you're right, Ray. It's not just players, it's mentality. I think a lot of our players are still new to this level of football. I think we've come a long way in a short time. A couple of seasons ago, we was playing Championship football against part-timers. Now, all of a sudden, there was talks about just winning the league and playing in Europe at least. So, yeah, you are right. It is mentality as well. I also think that the players that played today were capable of winning. So even though I'm blaming injuries regarding the whole season, the starting 11 should have won today, and they weren't good enough. They didn't play to their potential, which is unfortunate. And yeah, it's just very disappointing that you can't even see us turning it around now at the end of the season. We've still got 3 games to go. They should all be winnable games, as was today. But yeah, that is a mental thing. That's not a quality thing regarding the pitch. All the players are capable of winning. I think it's Tottenham, Brighton, and Everton. But it is a mental thing now. It's either a mental block, or it's them deflated, or the pressure's got to them, something. But I do stand by that we wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for the amount of injuries that we've had. I know other teams have had injuries, but we have had a hell of a lot, especially in the forward positions. Even LJ got off today as well.
Yeah, she's had a up and down season where she's been brilliant when she's played, but she's had a couple of injuries. I think 2 or 3 injuries this season along the way. John, I've got to say massive thanks for coming on. Obviously, it's disappointing and it's so soon after the game's finished. So we're very grateful for you to join us tonight and give us your review of the game. Thanks a lot, John.
Yeah, thank you.
Here we go on the last game. Last game is Everton versus Aston Villa. And we actually had Peter, one of our contributors. He was live at the ground. So what I'll do is I'll bring Peter in and you can watch the video that he sent us just a few minutes ago.
It's finished here at Walton Hall Park. Everton women 3, Aston Villa 1. A fantastic performance today from the Blues, certainly in the first half. We found it quite difficult to break Villa down. They were really well organised, had a really good press, wouldn't let us settle on the ball. But we managed to make the breakthrough in the first half, Lucy Graham scoring a header. We had a second goal disallowed just before half-time when Hayley Razzle was adjudged to have been offside. Again, I said in my first half analysis I'd like to see the replay of that. Apparently, it was a tight call. So anyway, into the second half, we had a penalty, which Lucy Graham took. Unfortunately, missed that penalty, or well, it was saved. But thankfully, a couple of minutes later, we were awarded a second penalty, and Izzy Christiansen stepped up and expertly took it, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way, which made it 2-0. With about 10 minutes to go, Simone McGill, who'd come on off the bench in the second half, she scored our third to make it 3-0. It was pure instinct from Simone. A great striker's goal inside the 6-yard box, sniffing out the danger and making sure that she was there to bundle in the rebound off the goalkeeper's save, which made it 3-0. Again, I think at that point, to be fair to Villa, I think the 3-0 was possibly a bit harsh. I thought the Villa were well organised and did really well without threatening too much, but I just thought that they deserved to get something out of the game. They were able to get a consolation goal in the 93rd minute, I think it was, well into injury time. But at that stage, there was no doubt in my mind that Everton would obviously go on to get the 3 points. I think that Everton were dominant today against a very, let's say, well organised, well drilled Aston Villa. So that all but secures 5th in the league for us for this season. We've got 3 games left in the WSL and obviously that FA Cup game as well. So yeah, let's hope we can carry on this form for the remainder of the season. And yeah, up the Toffees.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for that review of the game from Walton Hall Park. That was Peter. And you can follow him on Twitter. I think it's Peter J. Macker, or Big Mac to some of his friends. Guys, that's the end of the show. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon or evening, depends where you are. Just give you an idea of what we've got, what other shows we've got. We're launching new shows all the time. After this show at 5 p.m. UK time, we have the Talkback Show. We should have the Leicester City manager, that's Jonathan Morgan, on the show this evening, and his team have just secured promotion from the FA Women's Championship. So I think he'll be in a good spirits. On Friday nights, we started a new show called The Coach's Point of View. First episode was this Friday just gone. That was at 8 p.m. and that's looking back at the week's news in the Women's Super League from the viewpoint of managers. And we had 3 National League managers whose teams were all playing in the FA Cup this weekend or today. And I don't know all the results, so I'm just going to go quickly check them out because there's some games that have gone to extra time. But I do know that Rob Mitchell, who was on the show, his team Brighouse Town have won. They won today, so well done to them. And so you can join that show. I think we're going to have another show this Friday, and we're hopefully having another special show. We're just trying to arrange that for later in the week as well. For some of our younger fans, let's say, we'll try and do that. So next week, there's no Women's Super League. We've got internationals, but we've got the FA Cup. So we will do something on the FA Cup. We'll have a talkback show, and we will have a look to see if we can do an FA Cup review show of the games that have been played next weekend. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. This channel and the shows we put out will only be a success if you watch, if you can share the links with your friends, tell them about the channel about the shows that we're doing, and get involved, because we'll only succeed with your help. Thanks so much, and a very good evening.